So he had a lot of great ability to make sure that people had fun on the set. And he was also an amazing director. One of the things that I saw, and this is the other story that I wanted to tell about his talent. When you are a television director, your main enemy is time. You don't have a lot of time to do what you need to do. Little House was famous for being on time and on budget, and sometimes under time and under budget, under schedule. Yet we would shoot an episode in 5 days, which is unheard of. Ask anybody. And we would shoot from 7:30 to 5:30, just daylight hours, because he wanted to be home for dinner with his family. Of course, when we needed to shoot at night, we'd adjust the schedule, but by and large, it was those hours. And he had this one scene that dealt with a funeral. And a funeral scene can be very time-consuming and very costly, because in a funeral, you've got the whole town there. You have a long, eulogy. And in the way that you have to, what they call it is covering the scene, meaning like, how are you going to shoot it? Where are you going to put the camera? How are you going to get everybody's, expressions? You're going to need to have, a close-up of the preacher. You're going to need to have a close-up of Michael, close-up of the family, a close-up of the grave, a close-up of, all the people reacting. And then you have to have a wide shot. And then you have to have a ton of coverage. And invariably, you will take half of a day to continue to shoot this one scene that maybe an eighth of a page of dialogue. Verily, while we walk through the shadow of death, the preacher may be saying, and it's just that, but it's all the reaction shots. One of the things I was really impressed with Michael by was he set everything up. The entire cast was there, maybe 30 separate different actors that all had to be there at the same time. And then he set the camera up maybe about 100 yards away so that everything was photographed in a tableau. And it was shot so that the backlight of the scene basically put everything in shadow, so it looked just gorgeous. And he did one take, and he recorded the sound, and he did one take where it was just taken from far away. And it was one of the most beautiful scenes I've ever seen, where everybody was in silhouette. You could see the gravestone, you could see the preacher, you could see the family, you could see them crying, you could hear everything. But he did it in one shot. He did something in one shot that other directors might take 30 setups to do. And he was done with this setup, I think, by 9:30 in the morning, when we had gotten there at 7:30. And it was, even as a child, I was very impressed. Anyways, as a person, he was wonderful. He would make jokes for the kids. He would tell completely inappropriately, wonderfully funny jokes for us kids that we would just laugh at and could never tell our parents. And I'm not going to tell here, but he was just delightful. And if you're going to pick a guy to follow and think is pretty wonderful, Michael, you couldn't get much better. There's so many other people in this town that it's like, why Michael had to pass away instead of some of these other people. I miss him. I think we all miss him. I think that the industry could use a Michael Landon right now. Anyways, thank you for shouting out, and I hope that you enjoyed these stories, and hopefully we'll talk again soon. Take care.